Welcome. If this is your first time using Room Visualizer AI, I'm going to walk you through the basics so you can get something useful out of it straight away. When you log in, you'll land on your dashboard. This is where all your rooms live. So if you're working on your living room, your bedroom, and your kitchen, each one is kept separate. And every design you create for that room is saved there. That means you can come back later, compare what you've tried, and keep refining. To start, click Add Room. Upload a photo of your space and then choose the tool that matches what you're working on. There are two tools inside the app. Furnishing and Decorating is for most rooms where you want to test furniture, decor, and overall design directions. So living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, entryways. Kitchen and Bathroom is for spaces with permanent finishes like kitchen, bathroom, or powder rooms, where you're comparing materials like tiles, cabinetry colors, tapware, lighting, and surfaces. Before we get into the tools, let me show you a powerful feature called StyleLens, which you can find in your dashboard. One of the first things a professional designer does with a new client is figure out what they're actually drawn to. That process of understanding your own taste is a big part of getting design right. StyleLens lets you do that in just a few clicks. You can start by uploading 5 to 10 inspiration images, photos of rooms, spaces, anything that catches your eye. If you love the mood and furniture style in your inspiration but want different colors, you can upload a single image to the color palette override and StyleLens will pull the colors from that instead. And if there's something you specifically don't want included, you can note that here too. Once you run it, you'll get a detailed style profile, your colors, your materials, and your overall aesthetic, all broken down so you can actually see the patterns in what you like. You can save that profile and apply it to any room you redesign, so your results feel more like you. And you can also create multiple profiles. So if you want a calm, warm feel for your bedroom, but something brighter for your living room, you can set those up separately. I'd recommend creating one before your first design as it makes a noticeable difference. Inside both tools, you'll see a little toggle header on top indicating which rooms you're working on. Let's start with Furnishing and Decorating. Here you can start by uploading your room photo or select the ones you've uploaded. A clear photo taken fairly straight on with curtain or blinds drawn open and natural light is best, but don't stress about getting it perfect. The goal is to just give the app a good read on your space. I'm going to use this room as an example for this video. From there, you've got a few ways to guide the direction. If you already have a vibe in mind, you can upload a few inspiration images. This will help guide the overall mood and feel, which I highly recommend if you already save a few photos from Pinterest, Instagram, or elsewhere. You can also skip that and just see what the room looks like with a fresh direction. Then you'll choose your model. I'll start with standard and decide whether you want a full redesign or more of a styling refresh. If there are things you definitely want to keep, like your flooring or your sofa, you can list those. If you're not sure yet, you can leave it blank. And if you're considering specific items like a rug, a sofa, lighting, or artwork, you can upload those too, so you can see them in your actual space. If you do upload items, like I did here with the coffee table, a quick label helps a lot. Just what it is and where it should go if you know where it will go. To get the best result, it really helps to include either inspiration images or items you're considering or both. If you leave both empty, you'll still get a redesign, but it may stay fairly close to your existing room. And generally, visual references work much better than just describing a style in words. If you're choosing between typing modern organic or uploading a few images that show what that means to you, the images will usually guide the result more clearly. Once you're done, click Create Your Room Makeover. Once your result appears, you'll see it under your original room photo. From here, you can save it, download it, or refine it. If you're happy with the result but want to make some changes, click Refine My Design. Use Tweak when you're making smaller adjustments. And use Transform when you want to change the direction more noticeably. You can request specific changes like make walls lighter, add an armchair, or remove the rug. You can also upload specific furniture or decor items to add into the room. For best results, make one change at a time. Each refinement builds on your existing design, so you can explore ideas without losing what's already working. And if a refinement takes a weird turn, you can delete that version and continue from the last one you liked. That is a normal part of the process. One more feature that's worth knowing about: Fix Room. Sometimes a result can change the architecture of your space. Maybe a window shifts, a wall moves, the ceiling height changes, or the layout becomes structurally different. If that happens, click Fix Room. It's designed to bring the architecture back in line with your original photo while keeping the design direction as close as possible. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get a clean fix. So if the first attempt doesn't fully work, just run Fix Room again. Below that, you'll also see an in-depth analysis of your room and what you can do to improve it. And one of the things I really like about the results is that you'll see your rooms filled with ideas you might not have considered on your own. You're seeing lighting, furniture, texture, styling all working together at once. That makes it much easier to understand how different elements interact and how you might bring some of those ideas into your actual space. If you're using the kitchen and bathroom tool, the setup is similar, but the focus is on fixtures and permanent finishes. You upload your space, then you can upload materials you're considering, like tiles, countertops, cabinetry, hardware, fixtures, tapware, lighting, whatever you're considering. I'm going to use this wood flooring as an example. And remember to label them as it helps the AI to understand what they are. If you're still figuring out your direction, inspiration images can be especially helpful here because they let you test different combinations in your own space before committing to anything. There are really 3 natural ways to use this tool. If you're completely exploring and don't have specific finishes chosen yet, you can leave the finishes section blank and just upload a few inspiration images. They'll give you broader design directions. If you already have a few materials selected, maybe you've chosen a tile or a countertop, but you're unsure about the rest, you can upload those specific items and also include inspiration images. That way, you're blending what you've already decided with ideas for what is still open. And if you simply want to see exact finishes applied to your space without introducing new ideas, you can upload those items and leave inspiration empty. The result will stay much closer to what you've provided. So it really depends on where you are in your process. The results page is exactly the same as the one I showed earlier. And you have all the same features like save, download, refine, and delete. One quick thing. At the top of both tools, you'll see a drop-down that says something like working on living room. That's just your room selector. It matches what you see on your dashboard. So if you ever wonder where something went, it's usually just that you're looking at a different room. When it comes to inspiration images, there's no one right way to use them. If you're still exploring, you can mix different moods and styles and see what happens. The result will reflect that blend, which can be really helpful. And if you already have a clear direction, using a set of references that is more closely aligned usually gives a more consistent outcome. I've made a list of places you can find inspiration outside of Instagram and Pinterest in our how-to guides section. And that's really it. Use Room Visualizer AI to test ideas in your actual space, compare options, and build clarity before you spend money or commit to anything. And don't feel like you need to get it perfect in one go. Design is meant to be an iterative process, and we'll continue to roll out features that will help you design your home with confidence.